Andrea Johnson, Dereline James, General Khan and Senzo Mchunu should all be arrested and jailed as soon as possible. We have heard several shocking testimonies and dirty secrets of many people at the Madlanga Commission several times. But what IDAC investigator Ramsamy has just revealed has left many people with very heavy hearts. Andrea Johnson and Mchunu truly messed with her life, and what she has exposed about the two is beyond imagination. The number of secret meetings Andrea Johnson and Senzo Mchunu had, what they discussed, sensitive murder investigations they deliberately ignored, and how the cabal was dealing with anyone who went against their wishes were all brought to light. She also exposed how Dereline James, an MP at the ad hoc committee who has been shouting at other witnesses, is also part of the criminal cartel group working with IDAC and Andrea Johnson. At some point, even the commissioners became emotional when she revealed how she was tortured simply because she wanted to remain honest and upright in her work. This is exactly what they tried to do to Mchunu, but they failed. Ramsamy has exposed them all and truly needs state protection, because if not, her life could be in danger. She also revealed how Andrea Johnson and Fadil Adams allegedly set General Masemola up in an attempt to make him lie and eventually face arrest for perjury. And this is only a small part of the shocking things Ramsamy exposed about IDAC and Andrea Johnson. Grab your cup of tea, take a seat, and let's watch this explosive testimony right until the end. If you truly support Ramsamy for being brave like General Mchunu and exposing IDAC and Andrea Johnson, then hit the like button, comment, Viva Mchunu and Ramsamy, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates.
Need to put together ASAP. I reply, noted, thank you.
Okay, and you wanted to refer to this exchange in response to a question about from the chair whether the only reason for the inquiry by Advocate Johnson was because Mr. Nkabinde made her feel uncomfortable. And you said you thought that there was a different reason and referred us to this. So can you tell us why you say so and why this is relevant?
My understanding or observation of this is that if she's saying to me, just met the minister now, need to put this together ASAP. Obviously, the minister is also or happy or approving that Mr. Nkabinde must be investigated, charged, and.
Well, at that stage, there's nothing suggesting that he must be charged. She's just gathering information at the time.
If I may just put it as to how I understood it in the meeting on the 22nd of January. I want something on this guy.
Meaning what in your speak?
In my head, Advocate Johnson wanted dirt on Mr. Nkabinde, and she wanted to charge him.
And your reference, so are you suggesting that at the meeting, either on the 20th or the 21st, at the minister's residence, that was when the minister and Advocate Johnson discussed Mr. Nkabinde?
I assumed it to be so because of the way Advocate Johnson was pushing for the information, even on the 23rd, and then she said she spoke to the minister, we must move ASAP. The other aspect of the 22nd of January 2025 meeting that made me alert to the fact that the meetings with the minister were common or regular was that she said, Advocate Johnson said to the team, the minister wants to clean up SAPS. He wants us to help him clean up SAPS, crime intelligence in specifically.
Let me just take you back on digging up dirt on Mr. Nkabinde. From where I'm sitting, that's not the only inference that one could have drawn. What if perhaps the minister wants...
Then you've got two properties, 28 million, 48 million, and then you have a sort of a bracket, and you've got Action SA lady coming for this.
For this.
Okay, so the Action SA lady is going to speak to this.
From what I was told by Mr. Perumal, and as per the presentation,
On page 227.
7.
So you'll have to open file 10, page 227. My apologies. Which is post-authorization activities. You have it?
correct?
That's post-authorization activities. This is the presentation, Mr. Perumal's portion of the presentation on the 22nd of January, and the first bullet point. You can read it into the record and explain to us what was discussed in the meeting about this aspect.
On the 15th of January 2025, the MP contacted Chief Perumal and advised that another MP, Ms. James from Action SA, was intending to meet with the IPID on Monday, 20th January 2025.
The first MP here is Mr. Adams.
Correct.
Still.
Continue.
He advised that her intention was to open a case and to request IPID to conduct investigations regarding the two properties that were purchased using CI COVID funds. Mr. Perumal, after being provided with her contact details, contacted her and advised her that IDAC has already undertaken to investigate same.
And then the next page, 228.
The MP then undertook to come to IDAC offices on
Now, when you say MP here, you're referring now to
Ms.
Ms.
James.
Well, not you, but Mr. Perumal.
Mr. Perumal, correct. The MP then undertook to come to IDAC offices on Monday, 20th January 2025, with her draft affidavit and evidence, and to conclude same with IDAC investigators. Her affidavit and documentary evidence will be filed in the case docket, which focuses on the abuse of COVID funds. Further investigations and interviews will be conducted. Must I read the last one as well?
Yes, you may.
The designated team has been activated, briefed, and deployed from 20 January 2025 to the 31st of January 2025 to finalize all outstanding evidential material or matters.
Why did you laugh when you read that?
I was just remembering how the briefing and the instruction, or what was the word? It was briefed and deployed. It was rather instructed and screamed at.
Okay. So that is where, so when you say in your note on page 3 of file 10, the Action SA lady coming for this, it's referring to that that is set out in the presentation.
Correct.
Okay. And was there any further information? Did you know what evidence, documentary evidence she had and where she had obtained that evidence?
I was informed in the meeting that Ms. James also received an envelope under the door with top secret documentation and confidential documents and information about these things.
An information note.
And an information note, yeah.
And the documentary evidence that she had received that was also slipped under her door related to this aspect only, or was there something else that it related to as well?
If I may just clarify, Ms. James never came to IDAC. She did not. I was asked to wait until at least, I think it was 5:30 or 6 o'clock. And then I went home, showered, and then I had to come back for the forklift witness. So she didn't answer Mr. Perumal's calls, and she did not come through. But later on, if I'm not mistaken, it was somewhere in February or early March.
Yes, that's also some of the documentation that must still be disclosed. Yes.
Mr. Perumal sends me a WhatsApp. It's a very concerning WhatsApp because it is marked top secret on the top, and it is the security risk and assessment of Mr. Ian Cameron. The message below that, and it's both pages, that was sent to me via WhatsApp. And the second paragraph, or the typed paragraph on that is, it makes sense why the Action SA lady didn't come. I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it in front of me.
Yes, we will deal with this aspect in full, Chair, once the documentation is available, and I can foresee that there's potentially a further statement that will be required. But for now, we can just deal with it on this level because there are some serious aspects flowing from that as well that we need to explore. But for now, we're just dealing with what the briefing was, and that there was potentially a further witness that was going to provide that information. Was Ms. James was the intention that she was going to be a witness, or that she was also going to do a Section 27 affidavit, or would it form part of this?
From the presentation, it's clear that Mr. Perumal had indicated or had intended on filing her affidavit and her documents in the existing Fadil Adams dockets, and she would then become a witness.
Okay.
Did she ever file an affidavit, Ms. James?
Not with IDAC.
Okay.
Do you know if she filed with IPID?
I was informed later that she did in fact choose to go to IPID versus IDAC.
That was part of the WhatsApp that Mr. Perumal sent you to say this is why she didn't come to us or something like that?
Correct.
Yes. And did Mr. Perumal say where he got that information from, the top secret information from?
No, he did not indicate. And at that point of our relationship or working relationship, there was a lot of, I was being excluded from a lot of information.
Okay. Can we then go back to your notes and we can deal with paragraph 17 of your statement on page 9? And in your notes, I think we are now still on page 3 of file 11.
Correct.
Continue, paragraph 17.
No stone was left.
Documents, page 15, the Mokwele matter, section 2813 authorization. I think that should be section 281
Correct.
authorization.
I will deviate slightly from my timeline in dealing with the events of May 2025. It is better that I deal with the events thematically instead of chronologically. When Advocate Johnson testified before the Commission, she produced a Section 28(1) authorization signed on the date, signed and dated 30 May 2025. In the Mokwele matter, as well as a 28(1) application purportedly from me to her, dated 30 May 2025.
Just want to go to that. So if you go to file 8, page 3288.
I'm there.
Okay, this is the document that you are referring to in your statement at paragraph 31, which was the document that Advocate Johnson testified to as being the application that was prepared by you, dated 30 May 2025. Is that the one?
Correct.
And if we go to the last page of that document, you will see on page 3298, there's a date 30 May 2025, and just above that on page 3297, Advocate Johnson's signature.
Correct.
Now you want to, we just go back to the first page of the application itself. which is addressed by you. You want to speak about that document, that 3288. You can continue in your statement.
Thank you.
Just before you do that, it says that it's from Advocate D. Ramsamy, titled State Advocate 30 May 2025 to Advocate Johnson.
Correct?
Yes.
Advocate Johnson testified before this commission. She produced a Section 28.1 authorization signed and dated 30 May 2025 in the Mukwele matter, as well as a Section 28.1 application purported from me to her dated 30 May 2025. I did not prepare this application, and the authorization could not have been signed and approved by Advocate Johnson on the 30th of May 2025. As these documents suggest, I say so for the following reasons. During the meeting...
Sorry, before you say that, so what you're saying is that the document that Advocate Johnson produced that she indicated was the authorization for the 28.1 investigation into the Mukwele matter, and that was preceded by an application drafted by you, sent to her, in order for her to authorize the investigation on 30 May 2025, you say you did not prepare that document.
Correct.
Okay. And you say that not only did you not prepare it, but that authorization couldn't have been, that investigation couldn't have been authorized by Advocate Johnson on the 30th of May 2025.
Correct.
Okay, and then you tell us why you say so at 32.
During the meeting on the 27th of May 2025,
take your time.
Advocate Johnson instructed me to prepare one umbrella Section 28.1 for all crime intelligence matters. May I please have a moment?
Let's adjourn.
And effect arrests.
Before you deal with the new topic, at this point, and I'm looking up to paragraph 22, surely at this point you must have a sense about the role of General Khan here. Can you just speak to that? I mean, it's difficult to comprehend a situation where you are all having these discussions in these meetings and tasks are given and his name keeps coming up. You also know who he is, that you now know he's in crime intelligence. He works with Advocate Johnson, Johnson's husband. So there are certain facts you know. You must have formed a view at this point about his...
I did.
Yeah, can you just share that with us?
So what I did was I Googled, because there was a lot of talk about him being on sick leave or suspension, but I wasn't following it. So I had Googled, and I realized that there was a lot of problems between himself and management of SAPS. My opinion that I formed was that, if I'm allowed to just deviate a little bit, in 2023, I had been given a docket where the former head of crime intelligence, Lieutenant General Jacobs, is supposed to have been accused number one. And when I was one statement short from being able to enroll the matter against 3 suspects in the matter.
You were in IDAC at that time?
I'm in IDAC at the time. that is the one of the three matters that I indicated in Statement 1 where Advocate Johnson point blank refused to let me proceed. In fact, she held a meeting saying that those dockets were going to be sent to SECU, but they had come through the Zondo Commission. And it was around that time that I was putting the link of Advocate Johnson's husband, Crime Intelligence, and this matter, because people talk. And I was also asking the investigating officer, why are we being blocked? And then I had heard about Advocate Johnson's husband and Mr. Khan being friends. Then all of this happened. So I put 4 and 4 together, and I realized that there were other aspects at play, which made me even more cautious with my note-taking, my written objections, notifying management of how procedures are not being followed. And the mere fact that the Feroz Khan affidavit in the Lushaba matter was kept from me. There's an email to that effect where I'm saying I'm not even made aware of it. I've now had 2 court appearances. I have replied to requests for further particulars. So when I disclose this, it's going to look like I'm hiding information from the defense. So I also vocalized my concerns about General Khan's involvement. It also became very clear his agenda when I started reading his affidavits. And I put so in 2 memos, that he's only speaking about his own issues. So I do believe that he had influence on these matters and how they progressed.
The investigations and the decisions to prosecute.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Back to the statement. You were dealing with paragraph 23.
It seemed that out of nowhere, Advocate Johnson started putting immense pressure on the team to start effecting arrests on Project Diversion. Advocate Johnson wanted matters enrolled as a matter of urgency. On the 9th of April 2025, Mr. Perumal informed me that Advocate Johnson wanted to advise us that the meeting with Ian Cameron went very well, and that we have his full support, and that we got his affidavit. No prosecutor were pursuing the evidence that was housed within those dockets against Mr. Nkabinde.
Okay, no, thank you. You've answered me. Thank you. Thanks.
So basically, all of this, that is the request for people the request by Advocate Johnson for people to get her information, all of it stemmed purely from the fact that she had heebie-jeebies about him. Is that how it appeared to you, or was there anything else?
No, it looked like there was a deeper reason for this. I do have, I do deal with it a little bit later on about the WhatsApp that Advocate Johnson had sent me about the Mr. Nkabinde thing.
You can deal with it now because it forms part of the chronology, because your affidavit comes later, but you wanted to introduce the affidavit first. So let's go back to how I wanted to deal with it. You, on the 22nd of January has significance for 2 reasons. It's after the presentation, there's this discussion about Mr. Nkabinde.
Correct.
But there's also, prior to that, how Project Diversion was going to be implemented going forward, and that we deal with later.
Correct.
Part of the 22 January where Mr. Nkabinde was discussed, the meeting with the Minister, with Minister Mchunu and Advocate Johnson a day or 2 prior, also has significance in respect of Project Diversion.
Correct.
And Mr. Nkabinde. So let's just deal with Mr. Nkabinde now, because that has significance insofar as Mr. Rapesu's victimization is concerned. And that is how the affidavit comes about later. But you can then go to after Advocate Johnson asks for these requests on the 22nd of January, there's a WhatsApp exchange between the two of you, which is at page 239 of file 10.
Correct. On the 23rd of January 2025, at 13:38, I sent Advocate
Can you
Johnson.
just, Ms. Ramsamy, when you read from the file, maybe bring the file closer to you so that you don't move away from the microphone. Thanks.
13:38, afternoon, Advocate Johnson. I spoke to Tilas about the links and the evidence regarding C income.
That is a reference to Mr. Nkabinde, and Tillis is Advocate Shabalala.
Correct. Peter White has a comprehensive report on the links on various matters, cell phone records, and vehicle provided to him being Mr. Nkabinde.
And who's Peter White?
He's a data analyst.
Within IDAC.
He previously was within IDAC on contract basis. He's now a service provider.
Okay.
Rapesu has provided the transcripts of the court case and judgment. I will await your instructions on obtaining the report providing same to your office.
What report are you referring to here?
The Peter White report, because Advocate Johnson had instructed me to speak to Tilas and find out what evidence against Mr. Nkabinde was at hand, and that is why I'm informing her that Mr. White has a comprehensive report.
Okay. And then there's a response from Advocate Johnson.
Please obtain report. Just met the minister now. Need to put together ASAP. I reply, noted, thank you.
Okay, and you wanted to refer to this exchange in response to a question about from the chair whether the only reason for the inquiry by Advocate Johnson was because Mr. Nkabinde made her feel uncomfortable. And you said you thought that there was a different reason and referred us to this. So can you tell us why you say so and why this is relevant?
My understanding or observation of this is that if she's saying to me, just met the minister now, need to put this together ASAP, obviously the minister is also or happy or approving that Mr. Nkabinde must be investigated, charged, and...
Well, at that stage, there's nothing suggesting that he must be charged. She's just gathering information at the time.
If I may just put it as to how I understood it in the meeting on the 22nd of January. I want something on this guy.
Meaning what in your speak?
In my head, Advocate Johnson wanted dirt on Mr. Nkabinde, and she wanted to charge him.
And your reference, so are you suggesting that at the meeting, either on the 20th or the 21st, at the minister's residence, that was when the minister and Advocate Johnson discussed Mr. Nkabinde?
I assumed it to be so because of the way Advocate Johnson was pushing for the information, even on the 23rd, and then she said she spoke to the minister, we must move ASAP. The other aspect of the 22nd of January 2025 meeting that made me alert to the fact that the meetings with the minister were common or regular was that she said, Advocate Johnson said to the team, the minister wants to clean up SAPS. He wants us to help him clean up SAPS, crime intelligence specifically.
Let me just take you back on digging up dirt on Mr. Nkabinde. From where I'm sitting, that's not the only inference that one could have drawn. What if perhaps the minister wanted his mind put at ease? Say, for example, just make sure that what I've heard about Mr. Nkabinde is in fact not true. And if that were the case, then his mind would be put at rest.
I could agree that that's a possibility.
Yes. I'm asking it in the light of what Ms. Siegels-Ncube raised with you, which is
could-
there was no charge or what, I've forgotten the language, yeah. That too is a possible inference under the circumstances.
It could be a possible inference, but the manner in which it was said to me, I knew already because I was in the environment and I could read the room. But also the urgency on the 23rd. But then my evidence will further show that I was getting pressure to do a 28 to investigate standalone against Mr. Nkabinde.
Yes, my question was specifically at that stage. There was that could have been a possibility that it wasn't just because there were no charges yet. Advocate Johnson didn't say we need to charge him. She just wanted the information. She was gathering information.
Correct.
Okay.
Ms. Ncube, maybe I misheard you. Did you say at the minister's residence or at the minister's instance?
Residence.
So it came from you and not the witness. What do you know about the meeting at the minister's residence? The meeting between Advocate Johnson and the minister?
That it had taken place after hours, that she was left waiting for an extended period of time for the minister. She was with the Chief of Staff, Mr. Nkabinde, and at that meeting, except for the heebie-jeebies, the aspect of the minister wanting to clean up SAPS and more specifically crime intelligence was discussed.
So that was the subject of discussion at that meeting?
That is what I was informed.
And did Advocate Johnson tell you what exactly the minister had said about crime intelligence, which gave rise to the need for a cleanup?
No, Chair, I was not privy. But from the way the conversation progressed, it was clear that the only three people in the room that knew what was being spoken about in those undertones was Advocate Johnson, Mr. Padiachi, and Mr. Perumal.
Thank you, Chair. See that it's 11:01. We take the adjournment.
Let's adjourn and resume at 11:30.